follow up with you guys. I'm sorry it's taking me so long. I've got all of my ducks in a row. I've got buyers ready to pull the trigger now. So just wanted to go over this real quick. These particular houses, so I'm working backwards here. I'm starting with the types of houses that I think are marketable. It actually happens to be kind of like the houses I've built in the past. I built one on the river last year that was really nice, but um, and it was expensive to build because of the floodplain. But for the most part, they're kind of similar. We're going to do some things different on the front end if my builder actually buys it. But first, let's go over the numbers because it may not be for us. But anyway, so these are our most comparable properties to what we could build now that were successful sales. Of course, there's some other ones out there that um, have not gone well. I have to look to find out which ones went well. I have to just basically make sure they weren't marketed forever or pulled and put back on. Um, but this is the types of houses that I think would be most comparable to build in that site. And they don't go into a million, as you can tell, but I did run it all the way up to 900. And the reason this may knock us out is honestly, I feel most comfortable asking my investor to build something in this range right here. So anyway, I have it broken down per pad. I had a lot of trouble with this one right here. The parcel ID is lost to history without having to have a paid membership to the Register of Deeds. I'm going to try to work on that and see if I can figure it out, but it's not going to skew things much. So basically, I broke down per pad. Obviously, you can double that for anything here, but you're looking at 234, 237, 225, 240. 182, 240, 225, 225. So that's going to put you in like the 400 range, which I wasn't sure if that was possible. But once I started doing a little more research and going back through the actual deeds, I think it's possible. Unfortunately, that might knock us out. I did meet with a guy over there. He wouldn't actually even build on it. The reason being is that he actually lost money on 2 builds last year. I told Albert a little bit about it, and the reason I have a couple notes here are just folks that I knew. This one is Gala. That's the guy who came and looked at the property for me. Right off the bat, just going to tell you is if you were to pay top dollar for this lot, you're already out $20,000, and that's because of the foundation you're going to have to put in. If we can figure out how not to make it a basement lot, that would be awesome. But at this point, it looks like it's going to have to be a basement lot. So I said 20. That's just a rough number. I don't know exactly. And also, building cost has gone up. These were purchased when people were really bullish on it. Some of these were even purchased as long as like 2 years ago, but every one of these was purchased a year ago. Well, I wouldn't say a full year, but it was purchased in the mid 2018. So it'll be interesting to see if we do just list the lot, how folks are going to be right now. I already have an offer from Gala for 300K. They loved the lot. His description says it's an A lot and a B or C location. I know it's just really close off of Thompson Lane area, and that had concerned me, but the road itself had not really concerned me that much. I don't picture the road being a big drawback. Also, I was planning on putting the house further back on the lot if we build, and we may still do that, but they had lost money on busy roads in the past. These guys have been doing this. I said 15 now, but it could have been 20 years. That's how I actually met them, as I was doing all their open houses when I got it new to the business 15 years ago. So I've been doing it at least 15 years. This guy I went to school with, and so I thought about giving him a call. He's had some success at the higher price range, which would allow the investor that I had in mind for this to purchase it. So you can kind of see where we are. It is possible that you could get into the 400s and above. And originally I talked to Albert, I was saying 300, 350. So, well, 300 is what I said a couple years or a year or so ago when we first talked, and then I said 350. I know that I could do 350 and feel really good about it. It just keeps going up. It just keeps going up to what I feel comfortable about because the numbers are all there. The part that's not there is this weird time we're in right now, waiting to see if Nashville kind of mimics the national market. We have a lot of data that says that we will just kind of fall in line. We're definitely not going to be hit hard as most places because of the number of people here that are moving here. But that at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if spring takes off and we see a complete transition, or if spring takes off and Nashville still just, money bags all around. So we don't really know right now. It'll be interesting. Um, and for your sake, I think now would be a better time to sell than spring because I don't see a huge upside with people having gotten stuck with some of these houses. The general market might look good, but there were a lot of houses sitting. Especially in the 900 plus range, which is what gives people the guts to pay, high dollar prices for some of these lots. So they're going to be tightening in the reins a little bit on what they're wanting to build on the back end, which is going to hurt the sales on the front end. So let's y'all talk about this. Get back to me. I still well, for one, I can get this guy to make me an offer, but I still have my guy who is willing to make an offer depending on kind of what you're asking. And it just may not work out. He's very aware of that. But the reason being is even though it's not my responsibility to assess risk for people, this guy is completely out of the industry. And so I would feel obliged to feel 100% confident that we could build what we wanted to build before I drug him into it. All the other folks, I don't have to crunch numbers for them or sell the investment per se. So that's why I'm not sure what we can do. Like I said, I can confidently say I'll get you 300 immediately. I can probably get you 350 as well from my investor, which is the first route I'd go, obviously. So after that, we may be talking to Dowd and possibly MLS listing. So hope that helps. Look forward to hearing from you. I'll include this little thing in your email, this little document in your email as well. And I have a bunch of other stuff for the investor side of it. If you think you know somebody who might be game, I'll be glad to share all that stuff with them too. Talk to you soon. Bye.